Question is quite direct. Will you vote against those cuts on the 17th, 18th, and 19th, sir?
Nigel, you're making a very general...
Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, he is not answering our question.
Answer the question, yes or no. You think about it, you don't know yet, answer the question.
Answer the community's here. Answer the question.
You were voted in by the community.
I cannot make that commitment to you.
These services are forcing us to take on the burden of these social programs when higher levels of government are paying to build new prisons, are paying for billions of dollars for fighter jets, for militarism all around the world, while people at the local level are being starved of their municipal budgets. Meanwhile, policing is going through the roof. So until we organize to address these issues, we're just going to continue fighting amongst ourselves.
The people are here and I work with the people. I show up today as a community person. Now, somebody said the police got cut. The police didn't get cut. The police add to their budget. They show the mayor that they are the tough guys around here. Crimes is falling. Right? You decide not to hire some police, but the police, certain people have power around here and certain people don't. The poor people in this society don't.
That's right.
And I hope the people here knows when they vote for a mayor that speak about cutting, they understand he actually means blood.
It wasn't what I was hoping for. There was really no information that was given as to how the service cuts will affect our ward. It really seemed like it was too theoretic and not very practical, so very hard to relate, a bunch of numbers thrown around.
I was very disappointed, unfortunately, that the council didn't directly answer the question, which was, do not vote against the cuts, and he said he would think about it. He did not. He seems that he's going to continue to support Mayor Ford and what Mayor Ford wants to do, and I find that unfortunately quite distressing, especially given that the cuts to our neighborhood are going to disproportionately affect Rexdale. It'll have a different effect on Rexdale than it will on Rosedale or Forest Hill. So that's why I strongly believe that the council must vote against these cuts.
The terms that they were using a lot of technical terms. They were giving a lot of details without actually giving concrete examples of what that meant. So, for example, when they say a reduction in operating budget of $6.3 million, that doesn't really mean anything to anybody. But if you say what's on the books is actually cutting service for 5 of the 7 routes of TTC that are in Rexdale, or firing the 17 and 29 youth outreach workers across the city, those are things that people understand, and that was totally missing from that presentation.
When it came forward to me by our honorable mayor, it completely disgusted me. Now, for him to mention to me, and I'm not sure if those of you heard it, when he told, a question came up, and he said to them, it's important to keep theaters. It's important for us, it's important for Toronto. Now, before I ask the question, I'd like to ask each and every one of you who are here, how many of you can afford to go to the theater? How much of you is important between feeding your families and going to the theater?
And in terms of the other proposals, cut proposals in the budget for Ward 1 area is busing. Because I do a lot of social work around here, and then I see the poor people, they bus. And now they're cutting the bus services here in this Ward 1 area. So it concerns me about the people's safety, especially for the older people and the winter coming, they have to wait a long time on the bus stop to get a bus. So it's not advisable for the citizens.
For myself, the TTC, the reduction in those rates and the increase in the fares are very destructive. It almost encourages people not to take the TTC, which isn't good for our environment. It creates congestion in our roads. And there's a lot of my neighbors who rely on the TTC to be able to get to work and to get home to school and to different places. In regards to the cuts to community centers and to daycare centers, the Green Home Daycare Center is on the block to be closed, and we have families there. They say it's underused. I believe that there's a problem with providing the full day childcare for the center, and if they did that, then the center would be able to reach capacity, and so it's definitely needed. needed. And my own parents, they're 81 years old, and those cuts to the healthcare services in our neighborhood are going to disproportionately affect my parents who rely on those services.
So the question is, where is your priority? I know you take care of the rich, because they make sure you get into power. But who will take care of the people that look like me, that walk in this neighborhood?